Greetings and salutations, welcome in, and let's kick this off by filling in this little dead spot here. And it's time for a fountain and one of our statues that are just going to be dotted around the place. I haven't quite figured out why yet, but we'll come up with a plan for that. But yeah, this little area, it just needed a little love. It was looking very blank. So I'm going to try and use the same statue theming that I've done in the central concourse, where we're going to have most of our food stalls and whatnot. But I'm going to try and recreate things around the park that are similar in nature. By similar, I mean using the same statues. Yeah. Let's go find some fountains to give it a bit of life. We'll put some flowers around there. And then something curious happens in a moment. I go to put down the edging, and I find out that the grid that I used to create this, I had the grid enabled, is not in fact truly a grid. It's slightly off square, which was a bit of a surprise, to be honest. It's okay, we can work with it. I think maybe what had happened is when I was putting in the donut shop, it may have just changed the angle on the path just a touch. So now we're done with that. Let's go ahead, and over here we've got the dragon ride for the Kittywinks, and it seems to be doing rather well. Let's go ahead and we're going to put in a fantasy village type theme. I do have some prefabs which I dig out later on. But we're gonna handcraft the stations around here. But we're only gonna do half the station. The other half I'm gonna leave open because I realized that the maintenance track on the back side of it's just a little close to the station. My fault. So what I'm gonna do is kind of butt it up to the station just a little bit. So it'll be on the same height as the station, but it'll do the job. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll put it on the other end. Who knows? I haven't got that far yet. I don't think that far ahead. Yeah, let's get this going. We're going to use the oldie village kind of theme. Put down some batting under here, make this look nice and supported. Because obviously, whilst magic is a thing in the fantasy village, we don't want to rely on it for our everyday needs. So we're going to go ahead and fill these out across here. That looks rather nice. We need some more detail work on this, so we'll get that going. I always find it difficult with this particular theme to find things that fit, but fit well. Obviously, with the way this theme feels, you don't need things to be perfect, but you do need them to at least make sense. And that's kind of where I have issues sometimes with the fantasy theme is putting things together so they look reasonably, I don't know if realistic is the right word for fantasy, but reasonably realistic, but also makes sense. For the most part, the station surround is fairly easy. We're just going to knock this thing out, put some batting on there, some supports, make it look like a building of some description. And then I find the dragon torches. And I was like, brilliant, fantastic. The dragon torches for the dragon ride. Lovely. All right. And I do know that there are some big dragons in the world theming thing. Is it World Showcase or whatever? But those are a little too Asian for this project here. This is more going to be like a fantasy kind of deal. So we're going to go with this. We'll decorate it out a bit more with some flowers. I'm going to come back and probably touch it up just a little bit. The entire area does need a little bit more love. So I'll probably do that off camera. But we got the basics. We've got the walls. We've got the roof. We've got some decoration going. It should get us going. It should make people happy, at least. And then I'm like, well, these are not going down to the floor. Let's fix that. So now I've got this, but it's going to overlap a little bit. And to be honest, I'm okay with that. I could probably go back and fix that if I wanted to. There's enough space. I think the 2 meter on top of that would probably be enough. But that's nitpicking. There's probably still going to be overlap. So let's start looking at theming around the ride itself now. And I'm coming. This is where it hits me. I can just do like theme village idea, and then I could put the flat ride in that empty space there, and have the two themed together. So we have like the flat ride go through this building, as well as the queue, because this is a queue building I built a long time ago. And there's my Tower of Solitude, which I put down and then later changed my mind about, because it's more of a weenie. And then there's the bank thing that I made there, somewhat along the idea of Gringotts, but we won't talk about that. But then I go delving through here, and I do have some village materials that I have prefabricated, and then I realize that let's build one from scratch, because that's really what we're supposed to be doing, right? You can watch any video where somebody goes in and just slaps down a bunch of prefabricated nonsense. So let's hand build something. So we're going to build just a simple little building here. I use the word simple with a little bit of comedy there. I'm trying to remember how to get these T-shapes sorted out, because I want that kind of shape, but I've got that overhang in the roof. Like, well, I guess we can just cover it up, right? We'll just put that down here and use that just to cover up that little bit of nonsense there. And we can fill it in with some window and some other stuff, some details, just to bring it out a little bit. And now we just need the doors and the windows. Now it's starting to come together. That's nice. All right, let's use some wood supports just to cover that up, just to make that gap go away. There we go. Move it onto a flat piece of ground so I can line everything up properly. And we'll get these supports all the way around the building itself. And as you put more detail on, it starts to come together a bit more. It starts to look more complete. And there's another dragon lamp that we can use to theme around the ride itself. Probably hold off on the dragon lamps on the other flat ride that's coming up. Then for a moment I'm like, I can just hand make one of these, and then I realize, you know what, I can just put that there and pull the door out. There we go, easy solution. Just a tiny bit more detail on this thing. I would put a garden in here, but it's really not worth my time. I don't want to go heavy on the theming. This is for the roller coaster, so we'll just we'll make it look nice, and that's it. Right. I mean, in reality, this would probably just be a flat building, and they would paint the doors and the windows on it. But we don't have that luxury here. So now I've got to find somewhere to put it, and that looks like a good spot. And then I remember that we do have some prefab standard barns that have been destroyed in some way. I was like, well, there you go. See, there's a dragon roaming the countryside. Let's get some of these destroyed barns in here, right? And then I realized this corner here would be perfect just to run the roller coaster through the barns. And then we can kind of fill the area out a little bit more with some more buildings and some more decoration. Some plants and stuff as well. We'll get rid of that. It's not really going to fit the theme. And then this guy here, and I'm going to run the flat ride through that. And another one of these, and we'll probably put in another village piece somewhere, and then just kind of fill it out a little bit. I do some groundwork here, nothing spectacular, some hay bales just to make it look like some farmland. We'll come back and make that look a little better. And then yeah, okay, that's fine. So let's go with like a little. Let's put a dragon in here, right? Because it's called the dragon, so let's put a dragon in here. We're going to leave the ground piece that it sits on above the ground a little bit, so it does look like it's an animatronic, because I don't want to hide that fact. So we'll go back through. We'll do a little bit of landscaping. We'll put some trees and shrubs and stuff in at a later date. There we go. Nice. That should liven the place up just a touch. We'll put the weed killer bits down again. I want to use this ride this queue house again, but I've got to fit that in somehow. But just checking out, making sure the ride clears everything okay. And now let's put down our flat ride. And for a while, I'm thinking about the cats, and I'm like, the cats look stupid. Sorry. So we'll go with the cars. We'll go with the little cars here, and we'll make ourselves a little loop here to go down and up and over. We'll create a little grotto in there later, maybe. And we'll just feed it around through here. We'll put some more village scenery around it, and we'll make it into a little adventure thing. Maybe a marketplace out the back. We'll feed it through the house, and then back to the station. I'm going to have a lot of work to do here, I think. Got a lot of stuff to do. And then I realized, well, I've got to unbury the track. So, let's save. And we will try and use the auto tunnel, right? So we're going to bring the track back up again. I use the autocomplete, which completely fails. So we'll dig this out, and then we will turn on the auto tunnel, select the piece of track we're interested in, and just nudge it slightly. And it should create the tunnel for us. There we go. Alright, cool. Now I've got to just dig this side out as well. And I like the idea of it being up against the path here. And I'm toying with maybe not a big grand castle or something like that. Just a little faux castle on the top there, and that will be the grotto underneath. So we'll come back to that. What else are we going to do here? It looks pretty good. It could do with a bit more love there. We'll do some more some theming. We'll figure out the fence line. Anyway, that about wraps it up. So, once again, any constructive criticism is always welcome and much appreciated. And I will be back after the next live stream, which will be happening on Thursday at 7:30. Storm willing. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.